Okay, so welcome back to BFF Fantasy Football. I'm joined with Adrian and Izhar today on a mock draft Monday.
Hello,
Hello.
everyone.
And yeah, so today we're going to be doing the draft guides for the fourth pick. Izhar's got 12, and Adrian, you're like 9, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got ninth pick.
All right, so that's already weird, but okay.
Wow, Saquon Barkley first.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
Definitely interesting. I would expect McCaffrey or Dalvin Cook to be
Alvin
taken
Cook.
up
there. I
first.
mean, this is
I
only a
give up.
mock draft, so you're going
Yeah.
to have some weird picks sometimes. These are the for
Yeah.
sure going to be the top three guys taken, for sure.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm drafting fourth. So with the fourth pick overall, I'm going to actually go Derrick Henry.
Okay. Not a
I'm
It's not
picking.
problem.
bad.
I'm Henry at 4. I feel like is a solid choice. Obviously in PPR leagues, he's not going to get as much as some of these other guys like Alvin Kamara. But I'm just
Yeah.
worried about the whole situation with Jameis and Taysom, who's their starter. So
Yeah.
I feel like Derrick Henry's
I like how the draft shaping up so far. Besides the Saquon on the
Saquon, but
first
even
pick.
then, I believe Saquon would have been around fourth pick, fifth
Yeah,
either way.
for sure.
So would have rounded out. Jonathan Taylor, good pick. Nick Chubb. Huh.
Yeah, these are good picks. I mean, I probably would have taken Nick Chubb over Jonathan Taylor, just me. But
Yeah, yeah, I probably
all
would.
right, so it's my pick. So I, right now, I've seen most of the running backs already gone, so I think I'm probably just gonna kind of do what I did when our other mock draft and just take Travis Kelsey here.
Yeah, I mean I'm fine
Huh?
with that. Tyreek Hill went a little bit early, but
Yeah.
honestly maybe not. I mean 8. It's like a little bit after the draft, and all the top tier running backs are not mainly gone, but I mean, you still got Zeke, Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, and Tony Gibson. They're solid guys, but um,
I wouldn't spend a first round pick
I
on
wouldn't.
that. I'd
Yeah,
just
I wouldn't spend a
rather
first round pick. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Travis Kelsey. Like I could have gone. I don't know. There was just not a receiver I saw up there that was like, oh, I want to take it over Travis Kelsey. I'd rather have
so what
like a
if
good receiver at
Devontae
the
is
tight end
still as
spot.
Aaron Rodgers? You going Devontae there? Or you still going
Yeah,
Kelsey?
I feel with Devontae if Aaron
Well,
Rodgers stays.
Devontae might have been gone before
Good.
you, but for sure. Yeah. What if it's Tyreek or Kelsey? Who are you taking?
Tyreek or Kelsey, I'd probably take. I'd probably still go with Kelsey. I feel like he's more
Um,
like Patrick Mahomes targets him a lot more than Tyreek Hill does, than he does Tyreek Hill, anyways.
Yeah,
and then right here with 12th pick, I'm gonna go ahead and get the Stephon Diggs. I think
yeah,
either way, I have back-to-back picks right now,
yeah.
so
Back to back
I
picks.
gotta,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
you can go
So
whichever one.
in this case, I'm gonna go with Cam Akers.
Okay, yeah, I like
I,
him makers.
I
That's
think
not a
he's the
bad pick.
next best running back, and you need a running back within your top two
I
picks.
like him and
'Cause
Antonio
I firmly
Gibson
believe that.
and DeAndre Swift. I feel like they're all around that tier, like right below
Yeah.
the like. I think they're in that
Mm-hmm,
tier with like Aaron Jones, like Zeke. There goes Antonio Gibson right after Cam Akers. But I think those
mm-hmm.
guys are all around that same tier. Zeke is only just a little bit lower, just because the last year he had kind of scares me a little bit. I'm worried the
Yeah,
wheels
and
might be starting to fall off.
yeah, I have a strong belief, in drafting a running back and you're within your first two picks because running backs are just so essential.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they just get worse like
Yeah,
the longer you
there's
wait.
a pretty big drop off
yeah,
Mhm.
for
between
sure.
running backs.
Yeah,
Devontae right here.
here I'm actually gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with Austin Eckler.
Okay, I like that pick. Eichler's also in that tier. He could have a good year if he stays healthy all year. I
The
think
only
him and
issue I
Kamara, Patrick Mahomes.
the what Eckler's a guy that can get you 1,000 yards receiving. It's
Yeah,
just the running game. He averaged around 500 yards.
yeah.
And do you think Justin Herbert's going to be dumping it down as much as Philip Rivers did?
I don't know. I mean, I guess
I
we have
don't think
yet to
as much.
see.
I still like Austin Eckler over most of the other running backs up
Oh,
here.
Patrick
Anyways,
Mahomes.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, second round pick. That's gonna happen. Honestly, if you're in a redraft league and you're
Uh,
just playing with your homies, it's gonna happen. People are gonna draft Patrick Mahomes early as hell,
yeah,
just
but if
just
you want to
because of
win,
Patrick
don't
Mahomes.
do that.
If you want to
Do
win, don't
not
do
do
that.
that.
The stack is
Yeah.
nice, Tyreek and Mahomes, but they're not gonna. The Chiefs aren't gonna
Uh,
score 50 points every
okay,
week.
DeAndre Hopkins. I like him going there.
Joe Mixon. Okay, okay. Let's see. So I have Derrick
You still
Henry.
have some top receivers.
Yeah, there's
I
top
just don't
receivers
trust Joe
here.
Mixon, but
So I would have drafted Joe Mixon if he was right here, but I'm actually gonna go receiver, and I'm probably gonna pick AJ Brown. So
Not
I know
bad. I think
Really?
I might have personally gone with Jefferson, but
I only picked AJ Brown because since I already have Henry, it's like okay, it's a touchdown's going to go either to one or the other because they're really
Fair
the only
enough.
two
And
offensive
yeah,
weapons they have. So
yeah.
if you're gonna don't overstack a team, don't go like full one team. But like right now, I feel like I probably wouldn't draft another Tennessee Titan. I'd probably only go with the two I have right now. If you go a variation of quarterback receiver, quarterback running back receiver, running back tight end, something like that.
Yeah. And
hmm
also bye weeks. We
Yeah,
have bye weeks
exactly.
now. Look at them.
Oh, J.K.
You don't
Dobbins.
want too many
That's a
players.
lot of draft capital for him.
Yeah.
that is not a really good pickup right there. You could have gotten a lot
No.
of better talent on that because Lamar
And Najee
Jackson's their
Harris
running back.
went right after.
Yeah, I like
Like
the Najee Harris pick. I feel like he should go towards the end of the second round, maybe early third.
I, I like Miles Sanders more than J.K. Dobbins.
Darren
Yeah, I
Waller.
think Miles Sanders is better too.
That number
Yeah.
one pick's gotten some solid. Saquon, not it should be McCaffrey, but Saquon, Najee, Darren Waller, solid.
Yeah.
Got he went Darren
I
Waller
mean
though
George Kittle's
over
still
George
available
Kittle.
though.
Yeah, so I'm a little shook at
Yeah.
that. Um, I would have drafted Joe Mixon if he fell one more pick. I would have taken him over AJ Brown just because I like drafting two running backs early. I think you can't go wrong if you draft two RBs early. At least try and get your
hmm
two running backs early, like first 3, 4 rounds. Four's kind of stretching it, but
Yeah.
you want to get them
I
early.
mean, yeah, Miles Sanders went here.
Yeah, I like Miles
You
Sanders
still have
over
some
JK.
solid running backs still available. DeAndre Swift still there. Clyde Edwards-Helaire,
Man, I didn't even
Chris
think of DeAndre
Carson.
Swift. I can't believe he's still on the board.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess we'll see what Nathan goes with here. Obviously, we'll hoping DeAndre Swift falls. Okay, Calvin Ridley.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go DeAndre Swift. I do like George Kittle here, but you can't overthink the two running backs. Like I'm sorry. Like two RBs are gonna help you win more. I mean, I know Kittle could put up monster numbers, and he will. But I just like Swift more than Kittle because if I drafted Kittle here, I'm looking my next tier of running backs like Chase Edmonds, Josh
Yeah.
Jacobs. I mean Miles Gaskin. I'd be happy with Miles Gaskin and George Kittle, but there's no guarantee Miles Gaskin's going to be there. He's the only one that I like out of those tier running backs. So and there's a ton of receiver talent. So always go for
Yeah.
the
There's a
two.
lot of really good wide
Receivers
receiver
are
talent
so
always.
deep in fantasy football. They're probably the deepest position,
Yeah.
easily
I
by
mean,
far.
you usually have one running back on the field at a time. You
Exactly.
have 3, 4 receivers at a time.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
And this pick, I mean, I got one running back, one tight end. I kind of want to get running back, but I feel like I can still go a little bit farther down and get one. I'm probably going to pick one of these top receivers right here, Allen Robinson, Michael Thomas, and I think I'm probably going to go with Michael Thomas
I mean,
Yeah.
Michael Thomas in the third round is a great steal.
I
because
mean, I
I
see both
know
sides of
he's only
both
dropping.
sides drops.
Yeah, I mean he's just dropping because people are just worried about the situation with like quarterbacks. But actually, Taysom Hill target him a lot, and Jameis is going to target him a lot as well. So he had his best games last year whenever he wasn't with Drew Brees. So
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a
And
great receiver
so
this year.
with my next pick, again, back-to-back picks. I'm taking
George Kittle.
George Kittle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he considers as one of a running as a basically receiver, and I'm gonna be taking Miles Gaskins here.
Yeah, I mean, I was just
I'm
talking
gonna
about that
second
stack.
team.
I would have loved to have it. I
Yeah,
like DeAndre Swift way more than Miles. I like DeAndre Swift more than any running back taken after Austin Eckler.
yeah.
Joe Mixon, J.K. Dobbins, Najee Harris, and Miles Sanders. I'm really high on
Dang,
Swift.
they just stole my running back.
Josh Jacobs. I'm not
Yeah, they
high on
took
Josh
Josh
Jacobs
Jacobs
only
from me
because they got they
I
signed
believe
what's
their
his name in free
offensive
agency.
line is worse, and Chase
hmm
Edmonds.
Yeah,
I mean,
Chase.
not Chase
Yeah,
Actually,
Edmonds.
not Chase
here
Edmonds.
I'd
Kenyon
probably
Drake.
go since they took the running back I wanted. I'm actually just going to go with my boy Josh
I don't like that at all,
in the
but
fourth round. They
um,
took the running back I wanted, and I feel like I can
yeah,
get some of
but
these other running backs in the next draft or the next round, so I might as well as wait on it. I
true.
would have
I
gone Josh
mean,
Jacobs here for sure if I had the chance, but once he was gone, I just don't trust any of these other running backs as much.
yeah, all these other running backs, the tier of that's what we're trying to say when you do when you draft in your fantasy. Look at Box right here. He's got no running backs. His RB1 is Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones isn't a bad running back, but
No, but you at the end of the day,
RB1 is Ronald Jones,
you could tell just right now. He picked up Ronald Jones and he left.
and he left. Yeah, He's like, oh,
Yeah, he
I
was
messed up.
done.
I don't mind the Josh Allen pick because you have Kelsey, Eckler, Thomas, and Allen. So those four guys, they could be top five guys at their position in fantasy output. All these guys can and have had monster seasons before. So that's why I'm not upset about the Josh Allen pick because the next running back was Ronald Jones. So I mean,
No, there's the running back was too thin, and the wide receivers I can always get more wide receivers later on. So that's why I saw Josh Allen up there, and I had to pull the trigger on him.
if you can
He's
get
just
a
too
top
talented of
tier
a quarterback.
talent quarterback like Mahomes, Josh Allen, like we went over our quarterback list the other day. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes are fighting for the number one spot. You can get one of those guys in the fourth round, go for it. For second round, no, but fourth round, yeah. Like what do you
Or
think,
once
Izhar?
you start hitting fourth, fifth round, that's when you start kind of looking at the top tier quarterbacks.
Yeah, if you don't get one of those top tier guys, like Lamar, top
I say
tier, that's fine.
wait till sixth round if you
So
want to
here I
start looking
have
at
two running
quarterbacks.
backs and a receiver, and there's still solid receivers left here. I could look at a quarterback, but Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott. But I think I'm gonna stick to my guns and go another receiver. I like going two running backs, two receivers, and actually I don't like any of these guys, so I am gonna actually draft Kyler Murray. Um, the receivers that are left here, I like them, like Amari, Robert Woods, DJ Moore, but they could be there available for me maybe around the curve. You know, CeeDee Lamb, I think is gonna have a great year. So Kyler Murray is just a super talent, running, passing. I wouldn't pass on him right there. I don't know how you feel, Izar,
Fair
Adrian.
enough, but do you believe you would have been able to get him the fifth round right now
No, probably
on the
not.
curve?
I don't think I would have been able to
Yeah.
get him around the curve. Um,
Okay. Fair enough.
he's just like, I mean, there goes CeeDee Lamb, the guy I was just talking about that I'd love to have around the curve. I think he'll have a great year, but you know, if I had drafted CD, I could have seen Raj take Kyler Murray. But like that's why I
Yeah,
was
but
saying like the top five quarterbacks. Don't be scared to draft them in the fourth, fifth round. But don't overdraft. Don't go second or third. Like sorry, Mahomes is great,
yeah,
but
fourth, fifth
sorry.
round is not bad for these
For
quarterbacks.
the top tier guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I'm high
Like
on
Dak
Dak
Prescott.
Prescott. I like that pick,
Yeah.
but he's rounded his roster out nicely. Saquon and Najee. He's got two bell cow backs. I would have drafted George Kittle over Darren Waller, but
The
he went
issue
Darren
is
Waller.
look at the bye weeks. He has three guys on week 7.
Oh, he does. Well, that's
That's almost a
unfortunate.
guaranteed loss for him.
Yeah, this is updated with the bye weeks, by the way. So right now, I got Kyler Murray bye week 12, AJ Brown week 13, Derrick Henry week 13 on the same team, and then DeAndre Swift week 9. You don't want to stack too many guys that have the same bye weeks. So here we're coming
Yeah,
back to
you
my
don't want to
pick.
give yourself a free loss.
I want to go DJ Moore, but he's got a week 13 bye, so that kind of worries me. So instead, I'm gonna go. I like this guy a lot. I think he'll have a great year. I'm actually going to draft TJ Hawkinson.
Okay.
He's not bad. He's
TJ
not a bad tight end.
Hawkinson, Jared Goff likes to. I mean, he throws to the run tight ends. He's got no one else. I mean, honestly, he's gonna have to throw to TJ Hawkinson. He's got no clear cut receiver one in Detroit. So I'm not a huge fan of big fan of Jared Goff, but TJ Hawkinson. I mean, I'm okay with that.
And I think TJ Hawkinson's. I mean, I had him last year in fantasy, and he was pretty good. He had really good games every now and then. He was solid.
Yeah, my
He
only
was
problem is
pretty
now I'm
consistent guy.
stacked Detroit and Tennessee. So week 13 and week
Hmm
9, I'd have two top guys gone. But be sure to look at bye weeks. I'm not saying I didn't. I know what I did because they're on the same teams. But um,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't want to draft too many guys that are on the same bye.
No, you don't.
I like Tyler Lockett and Cooper Cup, but I didn't feel like using a fifth round pick on him. I like T.J. Hawkinson better, just because he's the number one guy, and like he's gonna have to be the number one guy in that offense.
Yeah.
Him and DeAndre
I'm
Swift.
hoping.
So
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift in the third round is incredible. Like I am so if you're drafted fourth and you got DeAndre Swift in the third round, be happy that guy drafted J.K. Dobbins.
Right here, I'm actually gonna take Mike Davis.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah.
I'm gonna take Mike Davis here. I
He's
mean,
He's the number
I
one
think
running
he'll have
back
a
on
good
the team.
year. He's their number one
Yeah.
running back. He's going to get most of the touches, especially like red
Yeah.
zone back and everything.
Especially
I mean,
Arthur Smith noticed what happens when you have a good running game. He had it with
yeah,
Tennessee, so he's gonna want play action stuff like that, get people open like that, and yeah,
yeah, for sure. He's gonna want to. He's gonna give Mike Davis the ball. Mike Davis is gonna get his touches. He's there. Anytime you can get a number one running back, especially in round 5, you're. I mean, that's pretty good. He can get there. A starting
He's
back right there.
he's the only
yeah.
guy.
So right here, I am actually gonna get a quarterback, and Russell Wilson's available.
Yeah.
Taking Russell Wilson
Russ
here.
Wilson's one of those guys we have top 5.
Yeah, he. I thought Russell was gonna get drafted, and I was gonna go for Justin Herbert. He was still available, and
Mhm.
then now I am actually gonna take my number 2 receiver, and I'm gonna take. I actually lied. I'm not gonna take my number 2 receiver. I'm gonna take my backup running back,
You got
and
one
it's
second.
Raheem.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah,
Mostert's going to for sure start the year as the number 1. I think eventually
yeah,
they'll switch over to
yeah.
I forgot his name.
To Trey Sermon.
Trey Sermon. They used a 3rd round pick on him if I'm not mistaken. It's a lot of draft
Mhm.
capital. I think he was a 3rd round pick. Um, so
Uh, maybe
maybe a
could
little
have been
later,
fourth.
3rd or 4th.
I think it could have been fourth or fifth.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Deontay Johnson. That guy's got a good, solid receiver core.
Deontay,
Julio, Mike
I,
Davis
I
at
Yeah,
2.
I
and
did think about
here
Deontay Johnson there, but
I'm thinking. I'm thinking about receiver here, but I don't
Yeah.
know how many of these guys I think I could pick here. I think I might go with James Robinson. I know a lot of people are confused on what Jacksonville's going to do there, but I still like him. I still like him a lot, and I think that Jacksonville will eventually realize that he's their best option at running back,
I mean,
and
I'm
he's going to
not.
get the majority of the first, second down carries, and that he's going to be their goal line back for sure. I don't think there's any way ETN's going to be their goal line back.
ETN could be a
so
change of pace, but I did hear that they're using him at receiver for the rookie minicamp, so we could see him lined up out wide more often than in the backfield.
Yeah, he might even just be playing like they might do like double running back stuff too with both of them too. So
yeah,
like both
I
out on
think
the field at the same time. And I still think that James Robinson's going to get the majority, if not most of the carries of that entire backfield.
I think he'll start off like that,
Yeah.
but
We'll have to see what Urban Meyer ends up doing, but I wouldn't be mad using a 6th round pick on James Robinson when he was going as high as the 1st round before they drafted ETN.
yeah,
So we'll have
And
to see what
Urban
Urban
Meyer
Meyer
still
chooses.
said he's going to use James Robinson a lot. So it's not like he said he's like
Tight ends are
done with
flying
him
off
just
the
because he
board now.
drafted him.
yeah.
I mean, we all got solid tight ends: Kittle, Kelsey, and Hawkinson. So I mean, Hawkinson's a league below, but so this is what my draft team looks like right now. I'm probably gonna have to go. I'm probably gonna go wide receiver here. I like Brandon Ayuk. I like Kenny Galladay, and I like T Higgins. Um, if I had to pick one though, I'm probably gonna pick Kenny Galladay.
Kenny Galladay.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
Kenny Galladay over Ayuk and Higgins because Ayuk second behind Kittle. Higgins, we don't know if Joe Burrow is gonna just feed his guy but Higgins is gonna be the red zone threat, so Higgins he's
Yeah,
still gonna
yeah,
get his touches. But I'm gonna go Kenny Galladay. He's the number 1 receiver in that offense. This is the last year that Daniel Jones has, so he has to put it
yeah.
together
Me
because he's got a
too.
lot of talent around him. And I think with
Hmm.
Saquon being back, should take the pressure off Galladay a little bit. And we saw how much he balled out with Matthew Stafford. Not saying that Daniel Jones is Matthew Stafford, but when he was the number 1 guy, he was balling. So
Yeah. Only thing is
I mean,
that
Jalen
Kenny
Hurts,
Galladay's
whoo,
very talented guy. So
very, very, yeah.
Jalen Hurts
For
and
me,
Dak
Brandon
Prescott,
Ayuk, though,
not too bad.
uh, I think he's the type of player that he could also run the ball, honestly.
man, that's a good thing about Ayuk is that I mean, San Francisco likes to do the wide receiver sweeps
Yeah,
and stuff,
sweeps.
and
Yeah,
the
and I
jet
think that's a
sweeps and
big thing that
everything.
How
So
do you
he
guys
brings.
feel
Yeah,
about Jalen Hurts going over Justin Herbert?
I'm not a fan of that at all.
Not a fan of that. I don't. Raj started the
I
draft
think
out
Justin
nice.
Herbert should be drafted a lot earlier.
He has been kind of sus recently.
Yeah,
So
like I said, had
here,
Russell Wilson not been there, I would have taken Herbert. But
so back around the
yeah,
curve, I got my pick of players again, and I'm probably gonna go receiver again. I have AJ Brown and Kenny Galladay. I could go running back. Not a lot of running backs that I'm in love with right here. Um,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna go wide receiver, and I'm actually going to pick T Higgins.
Ah,
So
yeah,
I was able to get both. I like T Higgins more than some of the other guys that are there right now, like Brandon Ayuk. I like him more than Ayuk. Claypool and Juju. Feel like that offense is gonna start transitioning a little bit. So I wouldn't draft him this early, round 7. If Jamar Chase had been there, I would have drafted Jamar Chase over T Higgins, but the guy drafted him a couple picks before me. But I'll still take
yeah.
T Higgins. He balled out last year, so not much really needs to be said. And Joe Burrow's back.
It's not a bad pickup. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
mind T Higgins that much. Joe Burrow threw him the ball a lot last year, and he had some pretty good fantasy games as well. So I see T Higgins doing pretty decent this season for what is it, 7th round pick? It's not bad.
yeah. I like the pick.
I wanted to go Javante, but I figured I would draft the receiver instead, mainly because Javante might not start early, be a little bit of a late round starter, and I'd rather have that wide receiver, tight end, running back flex spot secured with Higgins, who I know is going to start.
And here, I'm actually gonna go with Jerry Judy here.
I like that pick.
I like Jerry Judy better than I know. Like this fantasy draft board's got Cortland Sutton ahead of Jerry Judy. I don't know why. I don't think Cortland Sutton's going to be as effective, especially after that torn ACL that he had last season. And Jerry
Hmm.
Judy's just way more talented, and I think he's Denver's #1 for sure. And Teddy Bridgewater last year, I mean, he was slinging the ball to Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore too. Like they both had pretty good receiver seasons, so I feel like Jerry Judy's going to be doing pretty well. And hey, maybe they get Aaron Rodgers there. You never know.
Well, if they get Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers, Judy's going way earlier than the 7th round.
insanely. And here I'll be going with the receiver. Right,
Yeah, you only have
need
Stephon Diggs right now,
my final starter. And here I'm actually gonna take DJ Chark. I think he's gonna have a bounce back year with an actual good quarterback there.
and a good
Yeah, I like
coach.
DJ Chark. I like DJ Chark there.
What about around the curve?
Around the curves. This is where kind of I got to start taking a little bit more flyers here because of the this is I'm starting to draft backups and hmm, I don't like anyone here honestly. I'm just gonna take Brandon Ayuk.
He's still there,
I think
so I mean,
yeah, still available. I thought he would. Thought he should have gone a little higher. I think he's their best receiver other than Kittle. The only reason I didn't want to get him at first because I already have
talk
uh two 49er players.
talk about Steelers lover right there. The boy Mark is taking Deontay, Claypool, and Juju.
Yeah, don't do that in your
He's
leagues.
getting points from he's getting points from one of them.
He's gonna, yeah. I mean, he still has Mike Evans and Julio, so that's good. But he's gonna have to choose who to play in the flex every week.
Yeah.
That's not a
So
good. No, I don't think that's a good idea.
I
No,
like
And
not at all.
Stafford.
here,
I like the Stafford pick.
I'm probably gonna pick another receiver here because I like the receivers more than anything else. I think I'm gonna go with Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, he finished the season off solid last year.
I think Baker will target him a lot more. Like they're gonna learn from last year about trying to force feed Odell because they did better whenever they stopped force feeding Odell after Odell got hurt. And I think
Hmm.
that they'll be targeting Jarvis Landry a lot more. And I honestly think Jarvis Landry is the best wide receiver on that team. Even though Odell's on there, I think Jarvis Landry is more effective for them than Odell is.
I think he's just overall he's a lot more reliable.
He is, yeah. And I mean, he's had good fantasy seasons. Like last year, he didn't do bad. And the year before,
He
he was
finished off
really
really
good.
strong.
So
I don't
I
like the
think he'll be
defense
good.
being drafted in the 8th round. Don't be like those guys. Don't pick defense. I think that
The
might
only
be a
issue is that
CPU, but
if only issue is that what's it called with Odell being there, Baker tends to force the ball.
That is true. But I think they learned. I think they'll learn from that and not try to force him the ball as much. At least I think Baker will. Because after he got hurt, that's whenever the Browns started taking off, and I think they saw something about that, and they're like, "Oh, well, maybe we should change our offense a little bit and try to not force feed Odell as much because their offense is better when they don't do that."
No, I agree it is better, but we'll see. Big receivers they tend to be divas.
yeah.
Yeah, it's true, but I think they learned from that. I think they'll.
With
They
my
won't do that again.
with my pick in the eighth round, I went Zach Moss. I think he's a starting back. Devin Singletary is just not it. And even if not, he's a backup. So I feel like Zach Moss should be their guy.
Oh, Mike Carter.
That
Okay.
was kind of an early pick on Michael Carter. This guy's going for all the rookies. He got Jamar Chase and Michael Carter back to back. I do like the Michael Carter, but I was hoping I could get him in the ninth round, just a couple picks after. But this guy again
Yeah.
takes it from me. That's gonna happen in your drafts. Your guys are
Yeah.
they're gonna get taken. Like obviously everyone goes into a draft with certain guys they want. Don't be upset whenever they get taken before you. This guy, Devonta Smith too. Okay, this guy's just drafted him way early. You got Debo Samuel right there, and he went Devonta Smith. Okay, boy Rod, that's his rookies. Justin Tucker. So it comes back around to me, and I have three receivers, three running backs. So I'm probably gonna be looking at one of those two positions, unless there's someone else I like here. Um, actually, don't like any of these guys. I'll pick Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuel. Okay.
Playing for Washington football team, probably their second option now. He did
Yeah.
okay when he was in Charlotte as like or the Carolina Panthers. Whenever he was their third option.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's gonna be a second option behind Scary Terry. Um, Curtis Samuel in the ninth round. That's solid draft capital for him. If he does end up being the number two guy, you can see him
And
as a
also,
flexible.
don't do what these guys are doing and picking kickers right now. It's just a waste.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
I mean, I guess if you do happen to do it, at least
Those
if you're
top
in
three
draft
guys aren't too
early,
bad.
get the top guys. After that, it's just rotation. Those, yeah.
I wouldn't even pick the top three guys this early. I might even pick him
No,
like round 11 or
I
anything.
wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. Start picking them around 10 or something like that. But
Ryan Tannehill's a solid fantasy quarterback. I like that pick by Big
Here,
Frank.
there's still some good wide receivers I like up here. So I think I'm going to pick one of these wide receivers that are up here. And honestly, I think the one that I like the best that is still available is probably going to be. It's hard to choose because I like a lot of these guys. I think I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to go with Corey Davis.
are those okay?
I like Corey Davis because he's pretty much the starter in New York. They're gonna throw the ball, and Zach Wilson's got to throw it to someone. And I think Corey Davis, he's gonna be relying on him a lot more because he's that veteran wide receiver that's been in the league for a while. And I think Corey Davis he'll do pretty good. I think he'll do pretty good for the Jets. I think he'll have a solid season at least.
James Conner? Okay. I thought about James Conner.
The number one
However,
back
I'm
in
gonna be
Arizona.
taking
Him
yeah,
or
and
Chase
because
Edmonds.
since he just took him, I will actually take Tyler Boyd.
Oh yeah, he
And just back up receivers. Well,
backup receiver.
just some receivers.
I mean, he's gonna have a solid season with Joe Burrow having to throw the ball so much. So
Mm. And I'm gonna actually take a defense here now. We'll start to look at final picks round 10, and I'm gonna take Indianapolis.
I like Indianapolis' defense. They were pretty good at the end of last season or throughout last season. I think they'll be
I'm
better,
also
even
looking at
better this
their
year.
division.
yeah,
hmm
They gotta
yeah.
play
Look
the
at the
Texans twice.
Texans twice.
Any team
It's
that can play in Texans twice, I mean, it's not bad.
yeah.
All right, so here I'm actually gonna go wide receiver again because I really like this guy, and I think I'm gonna go with Michael Pittman.
Yeah, he's probably the number one guy in
He's the
Indianapolis.
number one guy in Indianapolis. I think they're gonna be throwing the Carson Wentz is gonna be throwing him the ball more than old T.Y. Hilton. I mean,
Yeah, don't
he's got to
sleep on
throw the
Michael
ball to
Pittman.
someone.
Don't sleep on
I
Michael
think
Pittman.
Yeah, Michael Pittman's one of my sleepers for sure this season. I think he'll have him and Carson Wentz will be connecting a lot this year for a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns. So watch out for that. I like Michael Pittman a lot.
Yeah.
He
Who
might
you?
end up taking over my flex position too.
I mean, he's a great pick. I mean, you got solid number one guy right there in an offense that. I mean, they're probably gonna run the ball more, but Carson Wentz can throw the ball, and Carson Wentz, he's shown us he's a solid. I mean, he was an MVP candidate. So I don't draft Will
Hmm.
Fuller though. He's gonna be out for 8 weeks. I mean, you can if you want to stash him late. I guess 10th round's not too bad. But this is the third receiver this guy's picked. He's got
Yeah.
Hopkins, McLaurin, and now Will Fuller. Don't do that.
I mean, I don't mind Will Fuller, but the thing that worries me is like Will Fuller is like one of those deep threat wide receivers. I just don't think Tua is that great at throwing the ball down the field.
Field, yeah.
So
So I just
here,
don't like Will Fuller there at all.
there's not a lot of talent I like. So I'm probably just gonna go for my backup quarterback here, and I'm gonna draft Joe Burrow. Um,
Okay.
just as my backup guy. Also, you can always use him in a trade if someone is really in love with him, especially since I have Kyler Murray already. Someone could really love him, like someone that hasn't drafted a quarterback yet. I'm trying to see if there's a team. Actually, I think every team's drafted a quarterback already, except for Marcus. He's got a lot of receiver and running back talent, but not much else. I was thinking defense, but I still want to wait one more round, so I'll just take a backup quarterback in Joe Burrow. Nothing wrong with drafting your backup quarterback, especially if you like him, and I like Burrow. So in the 10th round, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, Burrow's not bad. I mean, even if you get him as a starter, it's not a bad pickup either. I just don't know how he's gonna be. I think if he comes back and he's still great, like after that injury and stuff, then whoever got him like later in the rounds, maybe as a backup, and then they don't like their starter, they might have gotten like a pretty good, decent
Yeah,
quarterback
and
right
you always
there
have
who's
to
gonna have
look
a
out
good
for
season.
injury. I mean, what if Kyler Murray gets hurt for me and I didn't draft a backup quarterback like Joe Burrow? I'd say I ended up with some guy like, I don't know, was my backup. I mean, like Justin Fields or Big Ben. Not that, I mean, what if Justin Fields isn't even playing yet? And I'll have to
Yeah.
drop Justin Fields whenever I could have had him later in the year. So it's just, you always got to have a solid number two guy. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's just the way to do it. I mean, last year I had Joe Burrow and Dak Prescott, and unfortunately they both got hurt, so I had to finish the year off with like Mitchell Trubisky and stuff like that. It was tough. It was tough. All right, so back to me. I have three running backs, four receivers, so I might look at running back here. Are there any guys I really like right here? No, not really. About receivers. Oh, okay. I like Devontae Parker. I'll take him here in the 11th round as a backup receiver. He probably
Yeah.
won't. I mean, he might play depending on injury. We'll see. If Tua makes that leap like everyone thinks he might. Devontae's probably their number one guy. He's the big X traditional wide receiver out there, and he's talented. He's shown that he can put up fantasy numbers before. He's had big games. So,
Yeah, it's just the Tua thing is just unknown. Like
yeah,
he can like Devontae Parker is the best receiver in Miami. He's their number one, so it's still number one. And we round 11 is good. It's just we just don't know about Tua. Like we just have no idea. At least that's why I think his draft stock went so low. And here I'm actually going to draft a defense, and I'm going to go with the Patriots defense.
Yeah. I like it.
yeah, good
Patriots
defense.
defense. I mean, Bill Belichick, best defensive coach in NFL history. They're getting a bunch of players back from the opt-outs last year, and they got even better this season with more additions to their linebacking core. So I think they just got even better.
Yeah.
Like, I think they got Matt Judon from the Ravens.
They did.
Mm,
So New England's they're gonna be a top 10 defense again this season, maybe even top five. They might even be the best defense in the league this year. So
yeah.
that's why I like New England right there.
I'm actually gonna be taking a receiver here, and I'll be taking Antonio Brown.
I mean,
Antonio
Uh,
Brown.
yeah, 11th round
yeah,
pick. That's solid.
yeah. He started getting those targets the later at the end of the year because
Mhm.
Tom Brady like really has a connection with him.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, no,
Tom Brady.
I'm a fan of Antonio Brown. He's shown,
Hmm.
obviously the talent's there. He was a top receiver in the league for years. Um, he had
I'm
like what,
always
6,000 yard season, something like that.
yeah,
Daryl Henderson. Yeah,
yeah,
in case anything happens to Cam Akers, you have your
yeah. And
yeah,
you know there's some injury with Cam Akers last year.
yeah. Something happens to Cam Akers, you got the backup right there. So it's like I always have
It's
the
not bad.
handicap. Like me with Henry, I don't think I really have to worry about it there.
And here I'm actually gonna take Mike Williams and the Chargers.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I like Mike Williams a lot. I think like we're all really high on Justin Herbert here, and
Yeah.
obviously he's gonna have a big season. Keenan Allen's not gonna get all the catches and all the touchdowns. I think Mike Williams is gonna be getting most of those red zone catches and touchdowns. And I still
Hmm.
think he'll have a lot of receiving yards and catches this year, anyways, because he's our number 2 guy. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good pickup, especially this late in the round for
God,
backup,
receiver
maybe
is
flex
so
position for
deep.
you.
Receiver is so deep. That's
Yeah, and
that's
he's their deep
wild.
guy. He's their deep down threat, and Herbert likes throwing it down. I like Irv
I
Smith
like
here.
the Irv
I
Smith pick.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, some great value in tight end in this late in the draft.
So
Great
here
value.
I'm gonna go defense, and it's between Cleveland's and Kansas City's. But I like Kansas City's because they start playing a lot better down the stretch as a defense. I've noticed that every
Mhm.
year. Down the stretch, they start playing a lot better. Not to say that they're bad. I think they're a solid defense to play, especially in fantasy football. And I like
Yeah,
Cleveland's, but the only Cleveland scares me
they
a little
play.
bit. They have so many new guys playing. So,
Yeah,
and a lot of the
uh,
Kansas City
It'll
guys have
take them
been
a
there.
bit to gel and get chemistry together in Cleveland, so you could wait on Cleveland's defense. But if you, they have a lot of potential,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
they might be pretty good. But they might be like a backup defense or something for you if you need that.
another thing too though is that they play some that division's hard
Yeah,
for
Yeah,
yeah. It's always good to have a defense that you like off the waivers just in case for every week because you never know.
yeah.
So come back to
and
me.
usually if you have one of those top defenses and they're having like a bye week or something, or you just don't like their matchup against one of the top offenses, you can always just look for a team on the waiver wire. Just look who's playing the Texans that week, because that's what I mean. The Texans are one of the worst teams. Probably going to be the worst team in the NFL
Yeah,
this season. So
yeah.
if you see anyone playing against the Texans on defense and they're available, pick them up that week, even if you like your defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just tried to my backup tight end there in Hunter Henry. Week 14 bye. TJ Hawkinson is a week 9 bye. So whenever Hawkinson's out on his bye week, I'll just plug in Derek or Hunter Henry, and Hunter Henry could be the number one tight end there in New England. I mean, it's probably gonna be a two-headed monster with him and Johnny.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's what they're gonna run. They're gonna try to do what they
Yeah,
did back then, with Rob Gronkowski and uh disappointingly Aaron
yeah.
Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez. Yep, we got two
Yeah, I think
rounds
it'll
left
be
of the draft,
effective. That's
boys.
the thing that worries me though about that is just, I mean, you just don't know because they're going to be doing like double
I
tight
do
ends,
believe
so you just don't know who's going to get the
Hunter
touchdowns or anything.
Henry.
Here for, I'm going to get my backup tight end here. I'm going to go with Evan Ingram.
Pro Bowl tight end went in the 13th round.
Yeah, I mean, he should have gone the Pro Bowl. Big Bob Tanyan should have gone the Pro Bowl over him last season,
That's
but
crazy. Evan Ingram fell so far though.
I'd get Evan Ingram here. I mean, he's got a lot of question marks with his hands. You know, he doesn't catch he needs to get better at catching the ball. He's really fast. He's a good weapon for the Giants. And I just think, I mean, he'll give you hopefully one good week whenever you need him for the bye week. But he's better than most of the other tight end options that you have. So, I
Yeah,
mean, he obviously won't be playing much for my team because I got Travis Kelsey. I mean, Travis Kelsey's a start every week, so
Yeah,
he's only going to be playing every bye week.
yeah, and same thing here. I guess we all had the similar ideas of backup tight
yeah.
ends in this.
Backup tight ends this late. Yeah,
Yeah, and
I
I
like
would
Gerald
go
Everett.
there. Yeah, especially Seattle. They like
Yeah, Russell Wilson likes throwing to the tight end. Um, and he's
and this is
their
where I'm gonna
number
take
one option at tight end.
a flyer here on a rookie in Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad if he's my backup quarterback at all.
Yep.
He's gonna be starter from week one. You obviously got your guy in Russell Wilson, MVP candidate. Anything happens to Russ, hope knock on wood, hoping he has a great season. And
Yeah.
then you got Trevor
Which
Lawrence.
I don't. Yeah, that's the thing. You I believe there could be a ton of upside with Trevor Lawrence, and I could even use them as trade value, or
Yeah,
even Russell Wilson as trade value.
yeah. If
And then
Lawrence falls
here
off,
I'm gonna take Carson Wentz as my backup quarterback. I like Carson
Okay,
Wentz, and
I
getting him
like
as a
that.
backup, I think. I mean, he's gonna do pretty well in Indianapolis. At least I think he will. I think he'll have a bounce back season and go back to Carson Wentz of old. And if you can get that as a backup, that's great. I mean, you can even trade him to a team that probably doesn't have as good of a quarterback if you need
Yeah.
to.
Yep.
yeah. And if he does super well, you have Josh just in case anything happens to Josh Allen. That's what we're saying. It's always good to have a backup quarterback that's a solid player because in case anything happens to your number one guy.
You're not rushing last second off waivers.
Yeah. My pick's coming up. I'm not a big fan really of anyone left, but I am gonna draft this guy solely because everyone is high on him on Twitter. Saw it all over Twitter, and that is Darnell Mooney.
I like Darnell Mooney. I
Um, Twitter
He
was
has some
raving
talent.
about Mooney. I'm not sure
hmm
why. I don't see it, but I'm just gonna draft him just because. I mean, hey, maybe Twitter's right. I don't know. And
I don't really see him as you. I don't really think you would have to spend a draft pick on him. I mean, maybe like super late round, but he'll probably be one of the waiver wire beasts that you can pick up if you need it.
yeah, I
Yeah,
like the pickup of Deshaun Watson because in case he does play, you have
yeah.
him. But like this guy's
He-
starter is Herbert, so if
It's
he
good trade
if
value.
he
You can
does
trade
play,
him.
that's great trade value. That's a top five quarterback right there, fantasy wise.
yeah,
He put up numbers with nobody. My
yeah.
last round pick right here is coming up. I'm just gonna draft a kicker. You gotta start those
Yeah,
kickers
I'm
out.
also going to draft a kicker here because I mean,
And I'm just gonna go for a kicker that's either on a good offense. Let's see, who do we got? Robbie Gould, San Francisco, Ryan Suckup, Matt Prater, Jason Myers, Dustin Hopkins, and Tyler Bass. I like all of those guys, but I'm probably gonna go with Ryan Suckup, the Buccaneers kicker.
Yeah.
I just like their
The
offense, and they got another year with everyone back. So
mm,
field goals, PATs, I'm cool with that. Suckup, you know, I mean, he's just the kicker, so.
yeah, I like
not a bad pick. I don't mind. Like for kicker at least. I mean, just kind of just trying to pick someone kind of based on matchups at this point. So just, I mean, at the end of the round, if you're forced to pick a kicker, just pick one that you think can start at least a few weeks until you just start looking at which matchups are best for kicker.
Yeah.
hmm
It could be some random kicker being the best kicker in the league. So
Yeah,
I know
like
most of these
here,
teams drafted three
I'm probably
kickers.
gonna go with Tyler Bass,
Yeah,
the Bills
the
kicker. I
Bills
mean,
kicker.
he's the Bills. I think are gonna score a lot of points this year. So I mean,
Might as well
Tyler
go for a
Bass is
kicker.
gonna be
Yeah,
making the PATs, and even if they can't punch it in the end zone, he'll have his field goal chances. So they'll be on. I think they'll be on opponent's territory more times than not this season. So might as well
yeah,
get
that
the
makes
kicker for the
sense.
team.
And for that reason, I'm getting Michael Badgley.
hmm Yeah,
Uh,
it was between Bass and Michael Badgley for me.
Michael
yeah,
Badgley. Yeah, they're
yeah.
gonna score
It's
a lot.
just what's it
All
called?
right.
Chargers. Chargers
Yeah,
offense.
yeah, they got a dynamic offense. All right, so we got around 10 minutes before the draft room closes and before we wrap up the video. So I guess we just go
Mm,
through and talk a little bit about the picks if you guys want. Maybe look
yeah.
through and see what someone did that we don't like. So I can point out Box because he didn't draft the running back till round four. Um, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah. With Ronald Jones, your
Oh,
number one,
excuse
and
me.
then Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, and his
Yeah,
tight end Robert Tunyon. I don't think he's gonna be that great
yeah. I'm
this
not a big
season,
fan of this guy's team I'm looking
especially
at right
without
now.
Aaron
I mean, I
Rodgers.
like
But
Mahomes. I like Tyreek, Chris Godwin. Okay, Ronald Jones. Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
That's where it starts going downhill. Robert
But
Tanyan.
but the big reason this team is like this even is because he got Patrick Mahomes at number
Yeah,
that two.
exactly. He drafted Mahomes in the second round. Look at all the talent he missed out on. Hopkins, Metcalf, AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, all those
And
guys to
that's
draft Mahomes in the
we
second
got.
round. And look at the rest of his team talent wise. He doesn't have
Yeah.
another big punch player. I mean, you got
No.
Tyreek and Mahomes, and that's it.
hmm And they can't. They might be able to win you a game or two solely on themselves, but they can't win it consistently. And
No.
yeah,
you need
like
four or
this
five
team for
guys.
Bucks looks like a bottom of the league team right here to me. Even though he has Patrick Mahomes, like
This
he the best
time
his best
number
bet
one
is to
pick.
trade Mahomes for more assets.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
even then, there's not much you can get back from it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to look through the teams right now, see what team I really liked. I really liked what Raj was doing with the top five picks, and then after that, kind of fell off. I really liked that he got Barkley, Najee, Darren Waller, CeeDee Lamb, and Dak Prescott because I like the Prescott and Lamb stack. But then he went kind of weird in drafting Jalen Hurts right after
Mm.
Dak. Don't draft your backup quarterback around later.
I'm not too mad with Nathan.
Nathan Cook, Jefferson, Ridley, Cooper. So he's got great two. He's going to be starting two of these guys and then guy in his flex, and then Dalvin Cook as his
Mm-hmm.
RB1. Chase Edmonds is RB2. I'm not a big fan of that, but he does have Jamal Williams. Wait, no, no,
Yeah.
no. What
No, no,
team?
no. You're thinking
I'm thinking Javante. My bad. Never mind.
which is
Not a big fan of Jamal or Kenyon Drake pick.
Yeah, no, that's not. I don't really like his team that much. I mean, I like the receiving core. I like Aaron Rodgers. But after
for
that,
me. For me, what does is that it will saves him at the running back position. Yes, he has some trash players and like Chase
he's got
Edmonds.
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is a player.
Yeah.
He's your
Dalvin Cook
number
could be
one
for
running.
two guys.
Uh,
Two guys.
and Justin Jefferson, Calvin Ridley, Amari Cooper. Those guys are
Oh.
could be wide receiver
I mean,
ones.
that guy
But
probably has the best wide receiver core out of anyone, honestly.
hmm
I liked what Marcus was doing with Aaron Jones, Antonio Gibson, Mike Evans, and Julio, and then I wasn't a big fan of the ETN or the three Steelers receivers.
No,
But they did have
he
Matt Ryan,
never
which
picked that many receivers from the same team. I just don't. It just never works out that as well as you think it would.
this
no,
draft was pretty balanced. Honestly, everyone's got some holes on their team. I mean that's just
yeah,
how it happens. I have on my team, I have two solid running backs: Kyler Murray, Hawkinson, AJ Brown, and then my receivers, Curtis Samuel, Devontae. I like Kenny Galladay. I think my team's pretty solid. But I mean, I guess everyone's gonna say that about their own team. So
not yet. Yeah, like I really like my starters. My bench is a bit. I took more flyers on the bench,
yeah,
but I really like my starting
yeah.
line.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I like my starting lineup. I like my bench too. I think I got some nice sleepers here, like Michael Pittman and Mike Williams,
Yeah,
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 Michael
I really
Pittman's a
like.
and
good
Corey
sleeper.
Davis. So I think
Yep.
I got like I could use that for maybe some trade targets and get another running back
Yeah,
if I don't really like
I
Mike
didn't
Davis
I
or
didn't really go
Hector.
sleepers honestly. Looking at my draft, except Darnell Mooney, I guess if he's a sleeper.
Not Mooney. That's a bit of a flyer, but at the same time, like
Late round pick. I mean, I honestly he was probably gonna go undrafted. So I mean, the last receiver picked was Demarcus Robinson. I don't even know what team he plays on.
I think he's on Kansas City, but he's just
Jeez,
like their fourth receiving option or third receiving option. So
third
I'm
receiving
not really
option.
big
Remember
to
Stephon or
using that.
Sammy Watkins left to Baltimore. Did
Yeah.
Sammy Watkins even get picked? Had to be, right?
No, I doubt he did.
I mean, there's still
that's
some
the thing.
players that are left. If you look through it, like, you know, I mean, these guys are guys that should go undrafted for a reason. They're probably guys that you'll have to eventually end up picking up, unfortunately, if you get
I mean,
injuries.
there's some
But
guys here that you might want to
that,
pick up.
yeah, for
Like
sure.
Madison in case
I
Cook
like
gets
Amon-Ra
hurt.
St. Brown. I like Terrence
Uh-huh.
Marshall Jr. in case one of those top two receivers in Carolina get injured. You got Rondell Moore, Elijah Moore. There's good rookies here with upside that we don't
Yeah,
know what they're going to be really in their offenses yet. So they could be guys that you look to pick up as far as wide receivers go.
yeah. Like I'm also big on Henry Ruggs. He's legit. Other than
Yeah,
Darren Waller, he's the only receiver on the team that I believe has talent.
yeah,
Yeah, I like Henry Ruggs. I mean, if you can get him in the waiver wire, just if you want to keep your
hmm
eye on him after week one to see how he does, then go
Yeah,
for it.
there's not much
I mean,
running
there's
back
still.
talent left here. So that's what we mean whenever we say to draft running backs. Like, be
hmm
Yeah, yeah,
sure
you're
you get
probably not
at
getting
least
another
three
James
solid
Robinson
guys.
last.
Get at least, obviously try and use a draft pick in the first, second, third round on two running backs because you're going to need it because they fall off hard.
Yes.
And then you're taking flyers. You're looking at rookies. You're looking at guys that you're hoping start halfway through the year. You're looking at guys that are there potentially as handcuffs in case your top guy gets hurt. So just be on the
hmm
lookout. Don't be scared. Look how I mean, if you look at the draft board, look how much blue there is. There's so many receivers in the league that can put up fantasy numbers. But
Yeah.
every down running backs, they're not as common, unfortunately.
No, no, and receivers, you have multiple receivers on the field at once.
Yeah,
Running
up to
backs, that's
four
not
guys.
the case.
Running backs, it's one or
Yeah.
two guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, pretty much that wraps it up for me. I don't know how you guys are feeling. If there's any other points you guys want to make.
No, that's basically it. Just keep a lookout for those kind of look at rookies, players you think that might eventually surpass some players like my running backs. Like I thought about Sermon. The reason I just didn't even get Sermon is because I already have three 49er players.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a good point.
But
And be
that's
on the
the
lookout for bye weeks now that they've finally been posted. Don't stack too
yes.
much from one team, and if they're not on the same team but on the same bye week, unfortunately, you might have to look at passing on one of your guys so that you don't take an L that week because it could be a very important season. It could be a very important week for you. Who knows? So just take a look at bye weeks now that they've been posted. I think I did pretty good. I got 2 guys on week 13, 2 guys on week 9 that are my starters, and then my bench is like different positions like 10, 14. I made sure, you got to make sure, especially your backup quarterback, make sure he has a different bye week than your starter.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure. That's the most important thing. Your backup tight end and quarterbacks make sure that they have the different and defense. They
And
have a different bye week.
players where you only have one backup, make sure they have different bye weeks.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah,
All
but
right. Well,
all I have to say is just like and subscribe and be on the lookout for more content and mock drafts like this. We're gonna be doing them for the rest of the summer all the way up to the season, so we can try and help you win your championships.
yeah. And if you ever, wanna join on a mock draft, let us know
yeah, comment.
and
I mean,
we'll
if you comment down below, we will look at doing mock drafts with the people that watch the videos. And like Adrian said, we're gonna be turning out videos every day of the week, except maybe weekends. I think we took that one off, but we'll probably be doing Saturdays. It was just we couldn't get the schedule set up. But yeah, I mean that does it here from BFF Fantasy Football. Like and
yeah.
subscribe, and any questions or comments you guys have, leave them down below.